I'm Dee Ray, co-director of the Center for Play Therapy at the University of North Texas. Welcome back to Ray's Research Corner. This is our second installment of looking a little bit more closely at dissertations and how that process works and how it contributes and all the things you go through in doing it. So this time, I'm excited to be joined by Krystal Turner. Yay! We're so glad you're here. So Krystal, start us off. Tell us a little bit about your dissertation.
Yeah, so I'm looking at using child-centered play therapy, how children play in the multicultural design play therapy room as compared to Dr. Landry's play therapy rooms that were established in 1991.
So you're looking at, you changed the rooms.
Yes, we redesigned the play therapy rooms after we conducted that Delphi study back in 2021, I think. And then we talked with expert play therapists in the field, and then we also just talked with play therapists in general in the field to learn what are some items that are included as multicultural items, and so we redesigned the playrooms based off that.
Oh, very cool. I know we're going to want to know way more about that at some point.
Yes, it's really exciting.
Yeah, so what methods are you using to study that?
So it's going to be a quasi-experiment right now, just because based off how the clinics are working, we can't, which is where we're pulling our sample from. We don't want to randomize the sample and choose, basically meaning which playroom the child goes into, just because we don't want to disrupt children who've already started play therapy services in the rooms that they're used to. So because of the non-randomization part, we're going to be using a quasi-experiment.
Okay. So you really had to take into account the practical piece of how do you do research in a place that is actually giving services to children.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just the children's play therapy process is far more important than any research that we're trying to do. So I don't want to disrupt that.
But you made it work.
Yeah, cool. We did, yeah.
All right, so to do that, what analysis do you plan to use?
We're going to be using a repeated measures ANOVA.
Repeated measures ANOVA, that sounds... I don't know, I'm not sure about that. What is a repeated measures ANOVA?
So basically I'm looking at how children play over 3 sessions. So the repeated measures ANOVA allows me to see a trend in changes in the way children play culturally.
Okay, so you're going to be putting in, like, over 3 sessions, you put in, like, how much they play with the toys.
Yes.
And what else?
And how many cultural behaviors that we see and how many cultural verbalizations the children say.
Okay, all right. So you're dealing with a lot of complex constructs. How did you come up with what cultural behaviors and cultural verbalizations are?
Yeah, so I developed a coding team, and so the 3 of us got together and watched videos that we're not using for the study, and we looked at what we could see, and then tried to figure out, okay, what constitutes a behavior, what constitutes a verbalization, and why is it cultural? And so the 3 of us just really spent so much time working on it and reworking on it, and then we sent it out to my expert auditors to see if they agreed with what we came up with, and they did, and so we defined it in that way.
So not only are you doing the repeated measures ANOVA, it sounds like you had to do inter-rater reliability too. So how have you prepared yourself for doing this study?
So luckily I had a wonderful class, research and counseling, during my doctoral program where we had to present on a study or part of our study that we weren't that familiar with, and mine was the inter-rater reliability piece. And so that helped me really get familiar with what needs to be done to calculate that. And then YouTube has been awesome, and then of course just my research classes that I've taken over the course of my doctoral program. Yeah,
so sometimes if you try and get the background, but then you went into, let me find some resources like YouTube, which can be really helpful.
Very helpful, surprisingly very helpful, yeah.
So what's been the hardest so far?
I think actually the coding part, just because with 3 different people, there are 3 different opinions, and I really wanted to find people for my coding team that I know thought similarly to me, but would also challenge me. And so that's been the hardest part of just allowing my team to process things without kind of interjecting or without imposing my own biases in them and what we're coming up with. So defining the constructs has been pretty difficult.
Pretty difficult. And then you've been recruiting participants and therapists and all of that too.
Yes, I'm very lucky to be in a program where all of the doctoral cohorts have been so just excited to help out, and it's just been a wonderful way to bring everyone together, because I think everybody thinks they have a part in this dissertation as well, and they do. So everyone has been more than helpful to ask their parents that they're seeing, ask the parents of the kiddos that they're seeing if they would participate. And so we reached our end just with play therapists here, just excited to help out.
Oh, it's kind of the importance of having a support system in your research.
Absolutely.
Right? That makes it successful.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you hoping this contributes to the field of play therapy?
Well, more than anything, I really just want people, Dr. Ray, Dr. Landreth, Dr. Axline have all talked about the importance of intentionality when selecting items for the playroom. And so more than anything, I really just want people to see this study and see what, no matter what the statistics say, just the importance of being intentional with selecting items, and how that can help foster children's development based on each item that they choose. And so that's what I'm really hoping to get out of it, that people are thinking a little bit more culturally and when they're being intentional in the item selection.
Yeah, I like that intentionality and the cultural inclusivity.
Yes.
How do we put those things together?
Absolutely.
For the betterment of play therapy.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, so you're going to come back and tell us what
Yes.
happens, right?
Yes,
We're
I'm so
gonna be able to
excited.
find out. All right.
Yes.
Well, we're excited to have you back to tell us the findings when that happens.
Absolutely.
So good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.